Today's story involves a 20-year-old man with a strong love for basketball who was killed by someone close to him, the closest one to him. Today's goal is to keep the memory of Keon Levay Hodnet alive and to hopefully gain some clarity on what took place and why it ever took place at all. So, familia, let's gather around this kitchen table because we gotta talk. Now, familia, today's story is another one of those where the details are pretty scarce, and I would say that's because it's actually still pretty fresh as it just happened a few weeks ago. So let's just jump straight into the facts with what we have at hand. So Keon Levay Hodnet was brought into this world as the perfect Christmas gift for his mom, Demetrius Hodnet, and his dad, Levay Cameron, when he entered the world on December 26, 2004 in LaGrange, Georgia. If I'm mispronouncing that, please forgive me. And Keon didn't come into this world alone, as he shared his mama's womb with his twin brother, Kias Hodnet. They also had some other siblings as well. And growing up, the boys had a deep love for basketball. They both had hoop dreams their whole lives and played ball at LaGrange High School as teenagers. According to Kias' recruiting profile on ncsasports.org, his personal statement said, quote, "I am here to work hard. I got good grades and will maintain them through high school and college. I just need to be given a chance." End quote. His primary position was shooting guard and his secondary was point guard. Now, to be honest, I am no sports fan, so I don't know if those are good positions in the game or what. If you know a thing or two, you could drop your knowledge in the comments. Now, I couldn't find a basketball profile with any details for Keon, but what I do know is they both graduated from LaGrange High School in 2023, and after graduating, Keon decided to continue his education at Georgia State University, majoring in computer science. Keon was described as an ambitious young man who was focused on his future while also being sure to make time for those he cared for, such as his friends, and maintaining a close relationship with his grandmother, Teresa. It was said that he had a generous spirit, and a couple of his friends said between him and his twin Kias, Keon was the quiet one, and for some people that was a relatable trait because they were quiet too, and his calm personality made people feel safe and comfortable. It was said how it was easy to talk to him because he had this aura about him that could make you feel at ease in his presence. They also described him to be super encouraging and lending out the right words at the right time when they were needed most to make anyone feel invincible, like they had the capability to do anything. So you can imagine the devastation that plagued his loved ones once they learned of the details I'm about to explain to you. It was approximately 6:15 p.m. on Friday, March 21st of this year, when police responded to an emergency medical call at Hearthstone Drive. Police entered the home the call came from, and there's where they found a 20-year-old male deceased as a result of multiple gunshot wounds in his home. And the victim was Kiian Hodnett. Immediately, criminal investigators were called to the scene, and they determined that Keon was shot just moments before the 911 call was made. Reports don't provide the details of who made the call. Now, in addition to the determination of Keon being shot just moments before the 911 call, it had also been determined by investigators that his very own twin brother, Kias Hodnet, was the one who killed him in their home. Kias was immediately taken into custody and charged with malice homicide and possession of a firearm during the commission of certain felonies. Now, if you're watching this or listening to this and you're like, oh my God, Bonita, why he did this? Like, get to that part of the story. Well, unfortunately, familia, the facts behind the motive has yet to be presented. Police say there is no clear motive at this time, which to me sounds like Kias is probably either not speaking or maybe he was advised by his counsel to not say anything. However, Based on some social media posts, it seems as though the twins' relatives believe that poor mental health is the underlying cause to Kias' unfathomable violent behavior. A woman reported to be their auntie, Shan Staples, weighed in on her Facebook account with her own thoughts. And in a heavily emotional post, she stated, quote, "When I say I am so speechless, these young men are my babies. I have cried all yesterday, last night, and today. I'm trying to be strong for my sister, Demetrius Hodnet. This feeling I have is not right. I taught them how to sit, stand, walk, and talk. Memories just flowing through my head as tears won't stop rolling from my eyes. I'm hurt. I'm praying for them both. Mental illness is such a thing, and I wish it was more of us that can agree and admit to it and let the younger generation know that it's okay. It can be okay, and seek help if or when needed. These boys have been through so much over the years and felt as no one understood them, as if they were the only ones in this dark-ass planet called Earth. I just need everyone, I mean everyone, to keep my family in y'all's prayers, as Keon has gained his wings and Kias is fighting for life/freedom. Hashtag heartbroken forever. Hashtag my babies forever. Hashtag my babies." And she tagged Kiian Hodnett and Kias Hodnet, end quote. Now, during my research about this story, I came across an article from January of this year, and it reported on a robbery that took place against a 72-year-old woman who was going for a walk at about 5 p.m. in the 600 block of Cherokee Road when a young man ran up on her, snatched her cell phone, and threw her down to the ground and then ran off. Thank God that she ended up being okay, but she called the police to report what had happened to her. Just an hour and a half later, at about 6:30 p.m., an entering auto was reported in the 200 block of North Greenwood Street. When police investigated both incidents, it was one person in common, and that was Kias. He unlawfully entered a vehicle that wasn't his, and he robbed the 72-year-old woman. He was arrested and charged with entering auto and robbery by snatch. But, clearly he was let go at some point if he was able to kill his own twin brother just a couple months later. Right now, there aren't any updates on when his next court date will be. It is believed that he is currently being held at the Troup County Jail, which is also where he went for the robbery by snatch and entering auto situation. This case is actually still heavily under investigation by the LaGrange Police Department, and they're asking if anyone has any information that can help piece the details together about this case to please call Detective Shaw at 706-883-2620. And information can also be shared anonymously through Troup County Crime Stoppers by calling 706-812-1000. Familia, if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you deeply. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below and let me know how the story made you feel. Do you or anyone you know have any strife with a sibling? How bad did it get? Was the relationship able to come back together, or are you guys still apart? Let alone, it being a twin. And why do you think Kias killed his own brother? And do you believe he may have been struggling with poor mental health, as Shan Staples stated in her Facebook post? If anyone is from LaGrange and may be familiar with these young men, maybe you can speak from your perspective as someone who might have knew them. I really wish I knew the motive behind Kias' decision to kill his own twin brother the way that he did. To shoot him down multiple times in the home that they lived in. That sounds like, pure rage in a heated moment. I do wonder what it is that these young men have gone through in their lives, because Shan Staples said in her post that they've been through so much over the years and felt like they were the only ones on this planet and nobody understood them, which makes me think back to the friends saying how Keon was the quiet one. So was he quiet because of all he's gone through? And then notice how friends say he was easy to talk to. But when we look at a bit of Kias' past, he was out here, at some point committing petty crimes until he committed the worst crime. It gives that visual of good cop, bad cop, for a lack of a better term. It seems as though Keon was clear about wanting more for his future as he went straight into college after high school. And even Kias was talking about going to school and like going to college and everything like that. But I'm wondering, did he attend college? What was the beef between the brothers? What could have possibly caused Kias to kill the very person he literally entered this world with just seconds or minutes apart? And when Shan Staples said Kias is fighting for his life or freedom, I'm wondering if maybe they don't believe Kias could have killed his brother, or maybe they feel like he shouldn't be in jail due to his poor mental health and should be receiving medical help. Like, were the brothers constantly fighting? Like, what is it that we don't know? I don't know, familia. There's so many unanswered questions right now at this time. So, I apologize that I can't give you more, but I will be keeping an eye out for any updates with this case, because this story is truly a doozy. I want to send my deepest condolences to the loved ones of Keon, his parents, his friends, and the entire family, because at the end of the day, they are experiencing not one but two losses. Only those close to these young men know what truly was the vibes between them. And that's why you really don't hear me saying too much about the poor mental health claims or giving too much energy to Kias, because familia, normally I let the perps have it. It just seems like a very unfortunate situation all around, and I really don't have much to go off of to even form a solid opinion. Plus, the family is grieving the loss of one twin to death, and the other is about to be serving one heck of a bid if found guilty. So it's just a very, very sad story all around. But what I will say is this: no matter what his motives were, Kias was dead wrong, and it ain't no sugarcoating that. I won't forget the detail of him targeting an old woman and attempting to take a car that wasn't his. I feel like Kias clearly has been maneuvering on bad timing, whether it's due to poor mental health or not. It was just only a matter of time before things got worse, and unfortunately, his own twin was on the other end of the things that got worse. Rest in peace, Keon Levay Hodnet. May your spirit live on with your loved ones forever. You'll never be forgotten.